Texas King was here to start off NXT Roadblock and is like driving cars and is going through the card. It's a little bit weird. Also, hello my friends and welcome to Ups and Downs for NXT Roadblock, the review show where I basically go, oh, I love professional wrestling, it's really good. And then we just have a nice time because there's too many problems out there, right? Look out your window and everyone's crying, everyone's suffering. It sucks, man. So we can bring some enjoyment and some warm and happy fuzzy feelings to this damn house. That's what I'm gonna do. But over the top, it's just a wrestling review show. Let's go. We did indeed start with an Asylum match though, which was Dijak taking on Joe Gase. Essentially, it's what you've seen before. There were weapons everywhere, but there was also a box that said, do not open. And I have one big question. If you don't want a box to be open, why the hell would you put it in the middle of an Asylum cage match? Dijak is also an 8-year-old boy. As soon as he saw that, he had to go muck around with it. This is when it turned into a Looney Tunes cartoon, because a boxing glove was in there, and it punched him right in the stomach. I was like, Dijak, you really should have seen it coming. All I really want to talk about when it comes to this match, though, is that Dijak, who, do not forget, is about 6'6", 6'7" tall, and a beast of a man, climbed up to the top of this steel cage, and he did a moonsault. Now, some people are criticizing him for this. I think we all should just give him some mega respect. This was one of the most amazing things that I've seen all year, because not only was the moonsault picture perfect, but again, he's an absolute beast. He's also obsessed with these straight jackets. Of course, he put Joe Gacy back in one. He was running around like a headless chicken, but actually didn't help at all, because then Dijak got thrown through a table. And then Joe tried to take off this thing. Do you know what this crazy Dijak did? He duct taped his eyes. I don't think those words have ever been put together in a sentence. He also just hit him with a bunch of weapons after that and threw him through a door in the worst way that you've ever seen when he finally hit your feast your eyes and he got the 1, 2, 3. Now, given what he did later on in this show, I think we have big plans for Dijak, and we should do that because he's a big dude. As for Joe Gacy, it kind of just feels like he's a character that's gonna get his ass whipped, but he keeps on coming. I mean, that's not so bad. This was a pretty good way to start the show. The family were then backstage going, oh, we're going to win this big match later, when Tony D asked Luca Crucifino if he could be the can't pronounce that word, but somebody affiliated with the family that's going to do important things. Luca was like, I absolutely will do that. I thought he was already involved. I must have been watching a different show. Fallon, Henley and Blair Davenport also fell out because Fallon was just trying to tell Riley Osborne, don't worry about Thea Hale, she just got some bad advice. And for some reason, Blair didn't like that, so now later they're gonna fight. Lyra, Valkyria and Tatum Paxley were also having another one of those weird chats, and I swear Tatum was like, I need to win the tag team titles so desperately I'm willing to kill a man. Now look, this was really strange, but fair play to Tatum Paxley. Ever since these women's tag team belts have been born into existence, some people don't care. Whereas Tatum cares way more than anybody should. But that just means we brought balance to the force. Before all that though, we did have the men's tag team titles on the line. It was Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin, the best team in the world, taking on Chase U, who are also pretty good. This is what you'd expect as well. The champions came flying out the gates and wrecked these two, when Andre and Duke Hudson tried to come back when Bron hit a Frankensteiner. I mean, what move can't he do? That should be a skit on Raw or SmackDown, and then Bron Breakker just goes through the entire book. And he does them all. Andre Chase then got beaten up for a while before he got the hot tag to Duke Hudson. You're not going to believe this, but Duke ran wild. It also meant that Andre was able to take a Phoenix down. All of a sudden, he was back in the ring. And this is when they hit that gory special flatliner combo. That was a pretty good 1-2, ooh, I bought it. Bron then just flew off the ring with a clothesline, and I was genuinely laughing. But actually, Andre used it to his advantage. He hit Baron with a crossbody. He got another 1-2, ooh. Now look, that one wasn't as near as the first one. I guess I must have plugged in at this stage. I started to wonder. All it really did, though, is piss Baron Corbin off. He was like, right, I'm done. He hit this deep six when Bron just came back from the abyss. He hit the most ridiculous spear you've ever seen. 1, 2, 3. So the Wolf Dogs are just absolutely brilliant. And of course, Bron Breakker has signed with SmackDown now, and he's killing fools on that show. But we need to do something with Baron. He has warmed himself up, and he's ready to cook. He's getting it up. Carmelo Hayes was then backstage saying he too is going to win everything, so somebody was lying to us. But he now has this security entourage around him at all times, because he's gone bad guy now, and that's what bad guys do. Although, it is wrestling security, and as we know, wrestling security sucks. Which is when we basically got a squash match. It's time to rebuild Shawn Spears. Because he was taking on Uriah Connors, and the absolute best part about all of this is that Shawn Spears has his AEW entrance. He's got the lights, he's got the hood, he's got his character. That's a good thing, people. I want everyone that goes from AEW, WWE to do this. And if you go from WWE to AEW, I want it too, because it kind of feels like you're just a person living in this wrestling environment. And that's great. He also kicked this guy's ass really quickly and hit the C4 for the 1-2-3. When he got a microphone and he said, "Hey, Ridge Holland, I'm going to shine a mirror in your face and I'm going to prove to the world who you really are." I was like, I'm pretty sure he's Ridge Holland. Holland soon came to the ring and they got into a brawl. And Shawn was actually like, "Yes, hit me with a chair, I dare you." Which I think ties into this "I'm going to show you who you are" business. And listen, this has to be the whole deal with Holland injuring people and then pretending he doesn't care, but soon it's going to turn out that he absolutely loves it. When these two may even become a tag team, we shall see. But I do appreciate the fact that Shawn Spears has come back and he's just going all crazy, giving it up. Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs were then just yelling at each other, which I think is what they do throughout the week, when Dijak walked in and he made some quips. Now, if I were to guess, I do believe this is all about the North American title, and maybe we're going to get Dijak versus Obafemi. And I rang myself up in the future and I said, "Do I want that?" And he said, "You bet your ass you do." So NXT got to do it. We also had an Ilya Dragunov promo, and he said he was very excited about later when the family interrupted and said, "Well, you shouldn't be, because once again, Tony D is going to win." So I was massively confused at this point. What are we doing? It made much more sense afterwards, though, because it was Lyra, Valkyria, and Tatum Paxley taking on the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag team titles, all because the challengers had gone, "Yeah, we'd really like a title shot." Somebody just said yes. Now, my favourite part to all of this is that Oscar and Kyrie were able to be a team at the start of this, and they are just so damn good. They have the flow, they have the execution, they have the moves. There was one part where, there was a lot of ass whipping. I don't know what the right word would be. You're just gonna have to go and see it. The issue was, though, Paxley was getting so wound up by this because she was so desperate to win the titles that at one point Valkyria had to be like, "Listen, you need to calm down." And then there was an idea of, oh my gosh, they're gonna be a good team. And then Lyra missed a kick, and she smacked Tatum right in the face. I don't think that's going to go very well. It also meant that Kyrie was able to smack her in the jaw and throw her out the ring, which essentially left Tatum Paxley all by herself. She got beaten up, she got hit with the slam, she got hit with the insane elbow, and she got beaten for the 1-2-3. Now she's going to be doubly crazy, because one, she didn't win these championships, and two, she's going to think her only friend screwed her over. The actual screw job, though, came right after this, because as soon as the Kabuki Warriors had left, Roxanne Perez was here, and she beat up Lyra Valkyria so bad, right in the shoulder, the champion had to be taken away in a local medical facility wagon. So quite clearly we are going to go back to that feud, but now Roxanne Perez is a mega heel, and given what she is doing, she should either win this championship or be called up. It's time. I'm glad she's getting her bad guy licks in down on NXT, but she should be on the main roster soon. It was fine though, it's kind of just there. Up. When we went right into Fallon Henley versus Blair Davenport, because again they had fallen out earlier, and Blair had decided, well, I just saw what Roxy did to someone's arm, I'm now gonna do that to you. I think eventually Fallon got bored of that, so they spilled out of the ring. They were just throwing each other into Simba the Steel Steps, which is perfectly fine, and not a DQ, when we got quite the out of nowhere return. The Sol Ruka, who I can't even remember the last time we saw, was just sitting on Barry Barricade. She did this crazy cartwheel DDT thing onto Davenport, because of course it was Blair that took her out. Not for dinner, she injured her. She also just threw Blair right in the ring when she got kneed in the face, so Fallon pinned her. And given that these two walked off together, apparently the babyfaces had planned this from the beginning. So they do have an edge to them, not Adam Copeland, but I guess it's just a smart way to set up a brand new feud. And more importantly, it's nice to see her back. Nobody wants to be on the sidelines. Up. Then found out what had happened with Thea Hale because she had stormed off after the Chase U match earlier, and she was asking JC Jane for help because she's going to have a tag team match next week, and Jane said, "Sorry, I'm really busy." These two have fallen out so fast. Like on a Monday, they were making calendars, and on Tuesday, they don't like each other anymore. We also saw that Gigi Dolan and Ariana Grace are still falling out when Ava Raine was trying to calm them down. And given that they are going to have a match, Grace was like, "All right, look, okay, fine. We can do that, but if you lose, I get to give you a makeover." Now, you listen to me, NXT. Ariana Grace needs to win this match. I need to see that segment. It may be the silliest thing of the year. That's exactly what I need in my goofy wrestling life. Shawn Spears also cut another promo on Ridge Holland, so we're really doubling down on that. When the No Quarter Catch crew came to the ring, they're really happy they won the Heritage Cup. Now you may be going, Simon, you silly Billy, it was Charlie Dempsey that won the Heritage Cup, and you are technically true, but as they told us here, well actually, it's kind of a free bird rule, and any one of us can defend it. So I suppose Ava Raine is fine with that, when Drew Gulak also said, oh yeah, and by the way, we're also entering the tag title tournament. At this stage, I'd be like, we get free ice cream for life. Who signed off on all of this? They got a massive surprise though, because William Regal's music hit and he came to the ring. This is always fun, because it's like his real son, but also his fake son, but it's definitely his real son. He just wanted to put the Heritage Cup over as being a big deal. When Charlie grabbed him, Michael was like, I'm going to defend it better than you ever did. Regal sort of laughed this off and said, I'll be watching. I don't think he meant in a stalkery way. It sounds like we're going to light a fire under this crew. We shall wait and see. We also tied it in too because we cut to the Metaphor dressing room, and apparently Noam Dar hasn't said anything since he lost the cup. So Lash Legend kind of, gave him a pep talk, and all of a sudden he turned it around. He's like, you're right, Lash, let's go again. So he is going to look to the future now, and that was weird. When we were with Mr. Stone, and he was just watching footage of Lexus King getting madder and madder. Now, Von Wagner was there, and he should have gone, friend, this is not doing you any good. You're just putting sadness in your soul. Von Wagner also wanted to be the guy to beat up King, but Mr. Stone said, no, I must do this alone. So you just know that's going to go bad. I'm still worried that NXT is going to turn Von Wagner heel. We should not do that. This relationship is too good. When we got to our main event to determine a number one contender to Ilya Dragunov, it was Tony D versus Carmelo Hayes. And this was just a really good wrestling match. It was a little bit weird because Carmelo decided to work the arm. I was like, why is everybody working the arm during this show? But he got a little bit too cocky later on in the match. This is when Tony D was like, I'm in the Mafia, and he started to whoop his butt. Really though, it was just a bunch of teases with a 1-2 here and a 1-2 there, because this was all about the ending, which was fantastic. Because finally, Hayes had got the upper hand, and he climbed to the top rope, when all of a sudden Trick Williams' music hit, and you know the deal with a professional wrestler. Carmelo, even though he was like 12 foot in the air, totally forgot he was in a wrestling match, and he just looked towards the entrance. Now, nobody did show, but this was great for Tony D because he was able to take a med pack. He hit the spine buster. He hit that twisting neck breaker thing that he did. He hooked the leg. And my word, he got the 1, 2, 3. So now we're doing Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo. He also cut a quick promo afterwards saying, oh, Carmelo Hayes, I do have you a gift. And it was Trick Williams who came through the crowd, which meant he circumvented the security, but it didn't matter anyway, because not only did he beat the shit out of Carmelo Hayes, when these security guys tried to help, he beat up all of them. So once again, wrestling security sucks. None of this actually matters though, because the crowd was so into Trick Williams. This is going to be great. And for all the people going, oh, why aren't they doing it for the title? Well, it's quite clear that WWE has decided these two need to be on the main roster, so we can get to stand and deliver. We can do the one-on-one match. It doesn't matter that they both get called up, because it won't be for the championship, and everyone can be happy. And again, if wrestling is all about emotion and all about feelings, this is absolutely getting it up. Like Carmelo Hayes, he's going to be a big deal. But Trick Williams, my word, he could be a megastar. Which brought us to the end of Roadblock, and honestly, it was such a good show. It was just so much fun. Like, if you don't like those stupid skits, you won't like it. But good for me. I love goofy wrestling. It's getting it up. Now, of course, please do click the video on the screen, which is ups and downs for Raw. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, but otherwise, keep enjoying your lives, my friends. Otherwise, what the flub is the point? Goodbye.